Welcome everybody. I'm Derek Anderson, Regional Sales Manager for the South and Southeast with Rantizo, and here today to talk about our drone solution. So we offer a turnkey package for the drones. So some others out there sell the drones and kind of leave it up to you to get licensed and make things legal. So with our package, you're covered under our 137 licensing from the FAA. Really all that's up to you to do is purchase the drones and then get your own 107 pilot's license, as well as the state applicator's license, which we help with that as well. So that's an added bonus. But got two different setups here. So the one on the right is our liquid tank setup, 2.7 gallon capacity. Reason it's 2.7 gallons is to maintain or to stay under the FAA's weight limit of 55 pounds. So fully loaded at takeoff, we're at 54.8, so don't have a lot of room to play with there. On my left here, we've got our dry spreader attachment on there. So we've seen folks put out anything from cover crop seed to pollen, even going back in with some micronutrients or catching skips in fields where the ground rig might have skipped. Also putting in seed in wet areas. Earlier this year over in my part of the world in Arkansas, we had a bunch of rice fields that had holes in them, and that's a perfect scenario to fly that rice in that hole, and that way you can still get a crop there. Then our trailer here, it's also can be part of the package. You'd have storage for up to 3 drones, storage for water or a pre-mixed chemical. Here on the back right is our mix and fill tank, which is that ultimately increases efficiency. So you can have everything mixed there through the app. You tell the tank what to pull in, various products, how much area you're going to be covering, and then from there, the mixed tank handles the rest, and the drone comes back in. We've got a little caddy set over the over the mouth of the tank, and it dispenses the product in there. It's got a sensor at the mouth of the caddy, and that senses when that product gets to a certain level. On the left-hand side here, we've got storage for all the batteries and chargers. So one thing with our package and our connection with the FAA, we have the ability to swarm up to 3 drones at once. And so with those 3, you'd typically have 6 chargers back here and 30 batteries to keep in rotation throughout the day. You're going to be looking at about 8 to 10 minute battery life per flight. So typically you can get 2 tanks on a battery, and then when they come in, fill the tank, swap the battery, and away they go.
Would you mind speaking to how farmers have helped you get to this point? Because I remember when Rantizo was a good idea, but had a lot to figure out.
No, that's a great point, Margaret. We've worked with farmers and ag retailers across the country in various different applications. Again, from insecticides to herbicides. Fungicide application has been a big one for us this year. The growers really seem to catch on to the fact of just going to a spot spray mentality versus covering the entire field. So going back to what Augmenta was saying, if you can target just those problem areas in the field or the ones that you need to focus on and just apply in those areas, at the end of the day, that makes the most sense, because you're ultimately saving on that product that you're putting out, and also saving time. The spot spray, the waterways, things like that can be avoided by the drone application really seem to help on the grower side of things. A couple of other things I wanted to cover on the drone was on our liquid system. We've got 3 different swath widths that we can do. So if you leave just the 2 regular nozzles on there, you're going to be about 6.5, 7 foot coverage. With the setup I've got on here, you're going to be at about 12 feet of coverage, and Then in the trailer, I've got a 20-foot swath width coverage. So, all depending on what you're doing and things like that, you would adjust those swath widths. In the spraying rice levees over in Arkansas, we're seeing the 6.5 to 7 foot really work well on those. Another thing that I got a question on was, what's the gray thing spinning on the side? So that's the radar, which gives you two different things. One is collision avoidance. So, and we'll probably see it when the one's flying in close to the trailer. It'll pick up on that and it'll start beeping at me. Another thing which would work really well over here with these rolling hills and fields is it maintains your flight height or your altitude. So if you set it at 5.2 feet, it's going to stay at that same height all the way across the field and follow that terrain.